What is the best way to stay both strong and flexible? Today, in this video, this is what I'm going to discuss about. So, without further ado, let's go! Hi, I'm Melanie the Physio, also the co-founder of Capital Physiotherapy here in Australia. Now, in this channel, we have a whole playlist of a video delegated for performance arts to help improve your strength and flexibility. Even though the title might not fit you, I still highly recommend you check them out because there will be video in there that's going to help you with your flexibility or your strength right now. What is strength training exercise? Now, strength exercise are any activity that makes your muscle work harder than usual. This increases your muscle strength, size, power, and endurance. The activities involve using your body weight or working against a resistance. Then, what are flexibility exercise then? Flexibility exercise are activity that improves ability for the joints to maintain the movement necessary to carry out certain physical tasks. Improving flexibility can improve your posture, reduce aches and pains, and lower your risk of injury. Good flexibility can also help you to continue carrying out daily activities. It is important to realize that our body is connected. So if one area is tighter than the other, you will end up loading the other muscles and other joints around that part to try to compensate for tightness of certain area. Over time, this can result to overuse injuries such as tendinitis. Now, I don't think it comes as a surprise. Most people know that it is important to maintain both strength and flexibility to help to optimize your overall wellness and fitness. Muscle strengthening activity help maintain the ability to perform everyday tasks and slow down the rate of bone and muscle loss associated with aging. This is the same with flexibility. This is especially true for older adults because our flexibility declines as we age naturally. Having said all that, it is therefore important to maintain your strength and flexibility, and it's especially true that as you get older, it gets harder. Hence, we actually have to work harder to fight the natural cause of aging and degeneration. But the struggle that I see for most of my clients are not that they don't know it's important to keep up the strength and flexibility, but rather the lack of time to do both strengthening exercise and flexibility exercise throughout the week on a regular basis because, well, life gets in the way. So today in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the tips that I use on myself to help keep myself relatively strong and flexible throughout, well, pretty much my entire life. Now, when I was young, I have been a dancer from the age of 3 to 16. So throughout these children to sort of teenage age, I am able to keep my strength and flexibility mostly because I do ballet. But once I come overseas to Australia, I stop a lot of my dancing activity and focus on just adapting to the new country that I'm living in. And after a while, and it doesn't take long at all for me to realize that I'm slowly losing my flexibility really quickly. So this brings me to my tip number 1, and that is to combine strengthening and flexibility training together. This is like the most obvious tip is to, if you don't have time to separately do strength training and flexibility training, then do something that combines both strength and flexibility exercise then. So then you don't have to delegate specific time for strengthening and specific time for flexibility training. Now, because of my upbringing and the certain sports that I'm exposed to when I'm young, I tend to be drawn to sports that are very artistic and which require both flexibility and strength. So I like things like figure skating, I like sports like aerial dance, I liked yoga, and recently I actually fell in love with bouldering. Now, all these sports requires me to be both strong and flexible. So I just allocate time throughout the week to do these specific sports. And by doing these sports, it actually, because I need to reach a certain position for a lot of these sports, then I gradually just have the flexibility in order to perform these sports rather than the other way around. So my suggestion to you is to then find a sport that requires both strength and flexibility and try to incorporate that kind of exercise onto your weekly routine. Then the second tip I have for you guys is to be more conscious of your daily movement routine. Now what I mean by that is for you to be more in tune and to be more aware of your daily movement and your daily position, and to do some little changes or change up your movement a little bit into your day-to-day normal routine. So one very easy example is if you are an office worker and you are sitting in front of the desk all the time, and nowadays especially a lot of people is working from home, you are free to sit however you like. So change up your position a little bit. Sit normally for a while, sit with an outstretched position, stand for a while, sit in a slightly twisted position for a while. Constantly change up your sitting position instead of your normal every day in the normal sitting position all day long and not move your joint throughout their range. And if you're going up and down the stairs all the time, try to do bigger steps up and down. Try to run up the stairs, come down the stairs all the time. Try to fit this little movement or little exercise into your daily normal routine anyway. Now, just being mindful of all these little tasks that you're doing every day and change them up a little, you can actually include a lot of strength and flexibility training into just your day-to-day activity. Now, what if you don't like sports that requires a lot of flexibility? What if you just like running? Or what if you just like cycling that it's constantly the same movement and repetitive movement as well? What about people who like sports like that? Then that brings me to coming down to my third tips, which means to change up your regular exercise routine just a little bit. So when you're in the gym doing exercise, make sure you focus on full range rather than the number of repetition to ensure that you are using each joint through their potential range on a regular basis. That will help you make sure that the joint that you're actually training is actually flexible as well, because you're using them through range all the time. Now, if you don't like to go to gym and you don't like all these sports that require high flexibility, then try to add some dynamic warm-up and some stretches cool down to your normal exercise routine instead. So if you are a cyclist, or if you're a runner, or if you're a swimmer that do repetitive same movement all the time, make sure you do some dynamic warm-ups. Dynamic warm-up means moving your joint through range and get your muscles and your body warmed up before you do the actual sports. And every time after exercising, make sure you delegate some time for just stretching. You know, just cool down, just foam rolling or massaging or stretches. Any of those would do every session after cool down, just to make sure that you're not just building strength while doing those sports, that you are actually focusing on your flexibility of your joints as well. Also, if you're doing sports that is quite repetitive and use the same movement over and over again, I would say spend about 1 or 2 times a week, if you can, just to train up the antagonist muscles. That means the muscles that is completely opposite to what you do in the sports. Train up those strength of those antagonist muscles and stretch out those antagonist muscles as well. Now, tip number 4 is to learn to relax. Stress can cause your body to tighten up into a huge ball of tension. Combining normal stress from work and family with a bunch of hard session in the gym a week, you are looking into a recipe of disaster of tightness. Find a few days a week where you are just concentrating and focus on relaxing your whole body, so it reduces your overall stress level. I find that a lot of people, when they're stressed, they naturally tense up their body. So if you are consciously able to change your stress level, that will relax your muscles a lot and reduce the overall tension of your body as a whole. I talk about this in my other video, the sauna video, that I would minimally spend at least 2 days a week after my workout in my sauna, and that would be the time where I try to relax, where I try to meditate while I'm in my sauna. And I do that on a regular basis to try to keep my stress level in check. Now, my fifth tip for you is to incorporate some massage session on a regular basis. Now, depending how tight you are, you might want to start off with on a weekly basis, go for a massage session, but once things gets better, maybe every month to every 6 weeks. I do my massage session with my massage therapist between 4 to 6 weeks period. I will have at least one massage session, and during busy time, if I'm super busy at work, I'll pump up those sessions a little bit. Now, I find this particular tip especially true as I get older. I really start noticing that my body is just not recovering as well as when I was younger, and I think that's just a natural aging process that everyone would go through at a certain point of their life. Is that you will find that even though you do exactly the same thing, it's just not quite enough to maintain the same level of health and fitness anymore. So you have to do a little bit more to keep it at the same level of health and fitness that you want to be in. Stretching and training with full range of motion can work wonders with improving flexibility, but massage adds an extra benefit of helping to improve blood circulation and reduce muscle tension and tissue that restrict movement. If possible, work with a skilled massage therapist a few times a month or even on a monthly basis or whatever that fits your budget, but on a regular basis to help improve your flexibility routine and to get some extra relief. I find that going to massage therapists on a regular basis help me focus on what I'm actually tight for that month and what I need to work on for that month as well. You will find that every month is a bit different depending on what you do for that month. Certain muscle group just ends up to be a little bit tighter, and during the whole body massage you will realize which muscle is tighter than the others. So I'll especially focus on the muscle that's tight for that particular month and work on them to make sure that the next massage session I don't have the same group of muscles that's having problems as the previous month. If you don't have the capacity to have a massage on a regular basis, maybe just get yourself like a massage gun, a foam roller, spiky ball, a massage chair. All these tools does exactly the same thing as well, just at a slightly cheaper budget. So find whatever that fits your budget and works for you and do it on a regular basis. Now, we also have a series of 7-day flexibility program up here that I'll put a link at the top to help you improve your flexibility from head to toe. It's a 7 days program, so if you're interested, make sure you check them out. I upload video here on a weekly basis on health and fitness related topic as well as injury rehab topic. Once again, I'm Melanie and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, happy and healthy. See you next time. Bye!